Welcome and good morning, rise and grind. What's good, family? Welcome back to the show. We're talking real women's basketball. No shortcuts, no hype, without facts. This show is always, on this channel, is always about facts. The 2025-26 NCAA women's season is officially in motion, getting ready to head into conference play next month. And here we have the next AP top 25. It's already shaking the tables. Transfers, power moves, structures, stars, stepping on into the spotlight. We have some faves that we didn't know were going to be faves on teams that we truly didn't expect to be in the top 25, but they're there. We'll break all of that down and more shortly after this. And we are back. How the AP Top 25 works is the AP 25 is updated every week. So every week we're going to come and we're going to talk about the AP Top 25 to see how things shake up, because you know things change. Normally, typically, your 1 through 5 is always the same within 1 through 5. 1 through 5, and they might interchange from one of those numbers, but they typically will stay up there. But let's see where we are. See who fell off, who dropped in rankings, who lost some positionings, and where they are. Ranks are voted by the media members, if you didn't know that. And I think that every time we talk about this, we talk about who and what personnel rank these players and teams. And sometimes, and it's just my opinion, I think they could be off sometimes and sometimes not. Sometimes true, sometimes not. Any of the following can change the polls 1 week from the next. Upsets and rank losses, close wins versus weaker opponents, big statement wins, like TCU had a big statement win last week. And then they had much of a long stint before they played again this week. And in that week, and we'll get into it, Olivia Miles had a triple-double and a phenomenal game that day. Injuries, key players, missing games. We have a couple of those, which also messes with the dynamics of the team. Head-to-head matchups between ranked opponents and ranked teams that will blow your mind. And they actually are living up to the hype, and where you have some that you just said shoulda, woulda, coulda. If only I had done this, or only had I done that, the game would have been a little bit different. Even teams that win can drop if they struggle. So what typically happens after 1 week, the top 1 through 5 often stay similar, as I said before, unless there's a major upset. middle 6 through 15, guys, you got to know most movements happen right around that time, right in those numbers. Bottom 16 to 25, it's very fluent in change. Teams move in and out weekly. It's very common to see that 3 through 7, and we'll get to who they are. Teams change positions, and 1 through 3 teams drop out. It just depends on who you playing, the tier you're in, whether the team is ranked, or how you fare against a team that you actually thought were going to be in the top tier. Excuse me. 1 through 3 teams also enter the poll. This right here. So let's see. Let's see where we are. Let's pull up this ranking here. Let's get this ranking up on the stage here so we can see it a lot better. Let's see. All right. So we got it up there. Let's make sure I'm on the right one because I don't like how some of these are faring. Anyway, I don't like covering up my stuff, but this happened to be the layout that I have out right now. But let's get into it. Sometimes these rankings are just awfully weird. Let's see if I can adjust that to this. Oh, that's me. There we go. That's a lot better. And we will kind of get this moved up so you can see it. I'm going to shift this over here a little bit. And we can move this up. And we can make it just a little bit wider so you can see. Hopefully it doesn't get too fuzzy for you, but that's where we are. That's what we have. So I have to close out that ad right there because I'm not a paid member. So here we are, new rankings. You see UConn is still in UConn spot. Tennessee's 2, South Carolina is 3, UCLA is 4, LSU is 5. Why do we say UCLA is 4? And this is still somewhat close to the rankings. And like I said, when you look at this here, you will see that teams quickly ranked because by opponent, right? So although UCLA has a loss and LSU is 10-0, it's the teams you've played, and it aligns you in a ranking accordingly. So although it's a practice time for LSU in the beginning of the season to play some local teams in Louisiana where they are, it's sometimes, for as ranking, can kind of put you in a different scenario, in a different position. However, you can come out of that position and you can reposition yourself on your own once you get into conference play. South Carolina is had a couple little squeakers, close games. And that's what happens when you have players that are injured, and then you're trying to get the chemistry amongst the players that you do have to sub in to be on the same page. And they're working together. Dawn Staley always does a really great job in what she does with her players and how they fare. I think it's a great thing. Then we turn around and we will see your next player. Let's see who's in the chat. Good morning. What did you say? Legalized Dreamfish, Colorado River. I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, good morning. Good morning. So back to the rankings, we have Michigan at 6, Maryland at 7, TCU at 8. Michigan has put themselves in that number. They put themselves in that number, and it's going to be great to see how they fare even more so because I'm telling you, they got some great players on their team. I would love to see what's next for them when it comes to the to the conference play. Conference play is just so big, it's so huge, and it gives you just a great, like I said, overview of your players and what you see. Oh, where'd you go? There we go. Pull you back up. Pull you back up. Pull you back up. Pull you back. There we go. So we have the teams, we have the reps, the points, and it's also by point spread. So I always want to look at their point spreads too to kind of see where they fare. Because again, you could blow a team out by 100 and it won't mean a thing. And it won't mean a thing at all. So, hey, that's what it is. So you got your power watch, which is Sarah Strong, Madison Booker, Lauren Betts, Audie Crooks, and Juju Watkins. Although Juju Watkins is out, she still is in that number. They still count her. She's still on the team, and she's still a great fit for where she is and for the numbers and how they roll. Will she be back before the season is out, roughly around the playoff time? We don't know that. We have no earthly idea, but it would be good to see. Now, Maryland, we talked about Maryland being number 7, and Maryland has Jordan Garzon. She's a versatile scorer. I've seen her play. I like players that are versatile and that you just kind of see some of everything. Sometimes you have to kind of hold down your team a little bit, but she's very versatile. And why she matters? Because size and shooting is why she matters. It's important to talk about Garzon. When you have that size and you can shoot like that, hey, sky's the limits. That's a Big Ten problem right there. That's a Big Ten problem. You got problems on your hands with that in the Big Ten. So we'll see. The matchup is flexible is flexible in the Big Ten. So the flexibility that Maryland have by having her being a stretch player like that with that size and being able to shoot the ball as well as she's shooting, again, it's going to be something to see in the Big Ten. And then we have we've gone over the current Kentucky. I want to talk about them, but before I get to Kentucky, let's get to our infamous UCLA. So we know UCLA pretty much kind of went on and they look like they're on the roller coaster, but they're ironing it out. They're making it work. No problem. They're making it work. They're getting it done. As you can see where they're ranked at this time. They're number 4. They're number 4. Did they lose their positioning of being number 3? Yes. Number 3, 4, 2, 3. It changes. Again, that top 5 will change around, but they will still remain a top 5 unless a team just basically get into conference play and forget about knowing how to play basketball. Forget about all the things they did in the pre-games prior to leading up to conference. You still have to be able to play and battle and get it done, no matter what. But my surprise, and not so much of a surprise, but my surprise for its ranking, still, question is, could Texas Longhorns take the number one spot? Leave that in the comments and let me know. Leave it in the comments. That the question is, do you think that Texas Longhorn can take over the number one spot over UConn? UConn is playing a phenomenal game. All players are clicking on all cylinders. And we talk about that. Sarah Strong. Sarah Strong is handling business, franchise, centerpiece that kind of makes everything work. It maneuvers the rest of the players extremely well. And she matters simply because she's an elite two-way player. An elite two-way player. And it helps out because it stretches the floor. When you think you have a one-way, she's coming another. But her dominance as a two-way player gives her team an opportunity to stay in the position that they're in. So we're gonna see if they stay there. The power status is in front run. She's the front runner, man, front runner, and there's nothing else you can say that would actually change her being that front runner. It's gonna be interesting. Now Texas, we talk about Texas, but on Texas you got Madison Booker. Man, come on, Texas. Come on, Longhorns. I see you. I see you. You come on in the house. Come on in the house, y'all. Chat. Go ahead. When you come on in, just go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and knock it down. But Madison Booker, primary, prolific scorer. And why does that matter? It's based on certain titles and the contingents of her team to be great. They have to be great. And of course, we're always going to go back and fall back on the shooting ability. So, again, tell me in the comment, do you think or feel, hit the like button when you come in, that Texas Longhorns can succeed to the number one spot while UConn dropped to number two? Go ahead. Just let me know. I'm waiting. I want to know. Drop it on down and we'll finish up this AP because we can talk about LSU and we know who that person is. We have Malaysia for Wiley, who's transfer. We can't say enough about how well she's doing and what she's bringing to the table. Also, Flau'jae Johnson. Flau'jae having to be the leader of the team this year and learning that role to be more vocal in that status is something that I could see the difference that she's working herself through and she's finally coming in on that tier. So kudos to Flau'jae Johnson. And I just want to see how well she's going to lead her team mentally in conference play. Because sometimes it could just be, it gets mental. She has a young core, and that young core, they're playing like they've been there before. They're playing like they've been in college before. And so, yeah, I like them a lot. You know, LSU is my team. I'm going to root for them no matter win, lose, or draw. That's what it is. Thanks for coming to building. I see you. I definitely think so. Let's see. Let's pull you up. You definitely think that Texas can take over? Yeah, I definitely think so. They've been steady for the past few years. Yes, they have. They really have. And I'm going to say I'm really proud of them because people will count them out in a sense where, okay, they become what you would say a surprise, and they're really not a surprise team. They're a well-balanced team and has been a well-balanced team for a while. But having Madison Booker go to work when she goes to work is top tier. It's top tier. Now, we have Michigan, Maryland, TCU. I just had to get to TCU because I cannot say enough about our girl. She transferred over there, Olivia Miles, and she's balling out of control. It's the game is easy. It's coming at a more calmer and steady pace for her. So I enjoy seeing her play with the calm demeanor that she has. Even when she was with Notre Dame, she has just such a knack for controlling the tempo of the game, pushing the rock when need to push, dropping some phenomenal dimes on you. And so, yeah, let's see where she takes TCU. And if they can stay in the top 10, this conference play, again, is going to be something. But Olivia Miles, you got to go see her if you're not watching her. I know people say she's gone to a lesser school, a school that's not as more visible and vigilant than Notre Dame, but nevertheless, they're still one of those top tier teams. And why? Because they're setting a bar and they're putting TCU on the map. I remember TCU had an opportunity to get into the playoffs or push even nearly close. And then I want to say 2014, we had a player named, we called the AKA Monster. She led her team. She was like a 6'5", 11, 6'4", but she was so dominant on the boards, and she put TCU on the map. Her and her team, that class, did a phenomenal job their entire 4 years in college. So that gave TCU a bit of a name when it came to the women basketball program. The men have had their ups and downs, but the women have struggled a bit here and there throughout their years. But again, once they were put on the map, it's high expectations that you have to find a coach and you have to find the players to come in and rebuild that program to its finest. So with Olivia Miles being there at TCU, especially after coming from there after Haley Van Lift, who also took TCU deep in the playoffs and played extremely well. Got her confidence back after leaving LSU, where her confidence was down a little bit. But we were glad to see that she was able to push forward. Hey there, how you doing, Henry T. Hurley, Junior 4850? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Mark Campbell of TCU is one of the best recruiters in college. You know what? You're absolutely right. I said that on another panel about 3 weeks ago. He has such a great knack for recruiting, and I like how he's recruiting. I like how he's going after the big name players that are actually happy and willing to come. Because you see Suarez that's playing alongside of her. Don't count her out. She is going to be the key. Her and Olivia Miles playing together in sync the way that they are right now, and they will continue that the rest of the season. I don't foresee it changing. You still have 2 more players on that team that play extremely well with the 2 of them. So you have a good solid core of 4 out of 5 that will come in and that can dominate. You have that 5th player that you constantly have folks rotating in and out. But nevertheless, they will complement TCU and rep them to the fullest, just like Haley Van Lift did. And we know that Haley seemed to struggle a bit in the W, but that's to no fault of her own because she has to get the playing time to make it work. Good morning, big girl. How are you? How are you? Yes, I'm surprising everybody. You know what? I have not been asleep, big girl, since I was on the last live last night. I'm still up. I've been up. For those that said that I was falling asleep, I was not asleep because apparently I'm still up. I got my second win and I'm rolling this morning. Glad you came on in to hang out with me this morning. just talking about Olivia Miles and Suarez on their dominance at TCU, and just watching the rankings. I keep watching the rankings weekly to see how everyone is shifting up and down. I know we talked about the rankings early last week in regards to the top 10 and where number 11 was and how 10 can rotate so quickly. But really, how 7 through 10 can rotate in just one game. Oh, you at the job? I got you. I hear you, big girl. I hear you. I gotta stay up on it. I gotta stay up on it. Without it, we get lost and get contentious. Like, what? I thought they were number 2, and here they are, number 12. Okay, so you got Oklahoma, who's number 9, and we talked about them moving up, and Iowa State, number 10. You see how that shift happened? That bottom half shift. Those numbers differ, and they shifted from one week to the next because teams lost or they just blew out an opponent, because it's going to go by those AP points too. Those AP points are extremely important when looking at how they're going to be ranked moving forward. But how they drop dramatically is truly something. However, you see that change because you had Iowa and Iowa State up there, but you see how Oklahoma came and pulled it off. They're number 9 and pushing. So if TCU can't hold on or better, they might find themselves dropping under 10. But still, I don't see them being out of the top 25. Will they drop that deep? I don't see it coming out with Olivia Miles on that team. Olivia Miles and Suarez will carry TCU. They will literally put them on their backs and carry them to the threshold by the time the season is over. And that freshman, Oklahoma, mm, 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 mm. She's putting up big numbers, major numbers. And I'm going to tell you this, when they said that she was number 1 and look out for her, she had a rough start. But guess what? That start changed dramatically. Dramatically. You have the likes of Nebraska, and I wanted to talk about Nebraska, and I'll come back to the rest, but Nebraska squeaked themselves in that top 25. And Michigan State dropped to 25. Louisville, 22. Ohio State, 21. Tennessee at 18. Tennessee is not holding on strong at all. Notre Dame at 19. They're trying to hang in there. Hannah Hidalgo she's trying to will the way, but you can't will the way being a ball hog. Yes, big girl, you got to see Chavez. Chavez has picked her game up. She started off kind of slow, looking like she wasn't or shouldn't have been number 1. But the last few games, oh yeah, she's been rocking and rolling, putting up major numbers. One game she put up 30. So yeah, she's getting her feet up underneath her, and she's having a time. So let's see if she can rock through it and put up some big numbers in conference. We're gonna see. We're gonna see who holds her down, who holds her accountable, and how much she's pressed. Because you got to press a player like that, or else they're gonna shoot you out. Washington at number 20. Because I didn't talk about Washington. I have to really watch Washington play. I hadn't really seen them play like I want to. But I'm going to catch a game or two so I can kind of see how things are rocking and rolling with them. But Ohio State still staying in their place, of course. And then you have Ole Miss. Ole Miss is gonna creep in there. They just fell a little bit behind UC. USC, but they still in there. No, she don't play defense, big girl. You're absolutely right. She doesn't play defense, and that's the problem. That's gonna hurt her team. She can't get it. She can't get it together. It's gonna hurt her team tremendously. But you still got Kentucky that's rolling. Kentucky is having a great season so far. Vanderbilt 14, Baylor is at 13, and Baylor I believe is gonna pick it up. They will squeak past North Carolina. And then you got North Carolina at 12. So that's your top 25. As you can see, the shift in range between literally number 7 to 25 and how well they fare. And let's see, Kentucky. I pulled this ranking chart up. Kentucky, they claimed multiple spots after wins and bigger profile results this week. So this week was the difference maker as to why they moved to 15. I figured that because I hadn't seen them play. I wanted to pull up their stats for the week to see how they did and what allowed them to be pushed in the position they're in. And that program is definitely trending because I've seen some clips, some highlights, but not a full game. And I don't want to really critique a team on just watching highlights. Let's see, big girl. You say I don't know about Cotty being the point guard. You don't? You don't know about her being a point guard? Who else does Ole Miss have? They don't. They just a team that's playing together right now. They're just a team that's playing together that's affording them the opportunity to stay stacked where they are. And then you don't know about Baylor. They didn't look too good when you saw them. They didn't look too good against Davidson. Maybe it was a slow game, but they did creep up. They creeped up in the polls. So they're doing something, although they probably had a bad game against them. I watched highlights of Baylor, and the glimpse I saw, you could see where there's room for improvement before they get into conference play, but we'll see what happens once they get there. Are they just playing sluggish? Is the coach playing everybody? Trying to figure out the combinations against certain teams? Or what is it? Since I didn't get to see it, I can't answer those questions. But I will have those questions, those answers for you later on for sure. We talked about how they shift the stock down. We talked about the stock up, right? So the stock up was where teams shift and moved forward. And now you got your stock down where we talked about Mississippi is no longer in the same spot they in. North Carolina isn't. West Virginia is just out of there right now because of how they've played and the shift of the dynamics of the teams moving forward. And that's your 25. Let's see what you say, B. Big girl say, is it Scott that plays for Baylor? Watch the game against Davidson. Very good game. Yeah, I heard that it was a good game from one of my coaching friends. She was like, "You didn't see the game?" I said, "Nah, I didn't get a chance to catch the game. I was out working. I had to work some long hours that day, and by the time I got to it, the game was pretty much over." And so I said I didn't want to watch those last few minutes because I want to watch the game from start to finish. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take a look at that game against Davidson sometime today, if not tomorrow, so I can see what you're talking about. Mhm. So I already talked about the reactions. I got my notes here where the ranking reactions are just some of those that should still be in the top 25 or not. They're just not there. They got to get there. And then the other half of it is you got your top tiers that's doing their job as well. Again, holding steady. And wow, I'm looking for Longhorns to take that number one spot. We're definitely gonna see as you watch the game Iowa versus Florida. That was a good game. I watched the second half. That was a very good game. That was a very good game. I thought that they played them extremely tight, but I like how Iowa is playing too. I do. I like how Iowa is playing as well as Florida. Because you got both sides of the fence. I gotta watch both sides. I don't want to I don't want to weigh that particular game one as nostalgia over the other because it was such a good game. I saw the glimpse as they were showing the commentators were showing some clips from the first half, but getting there to watch the second half, yes, absolutely, absolutely a good game. Big girl, what you think about um, Vanderbilt? Do you think they'll stay at 14? Because Vanderbilt, they're moving too. They're shifty. Let's see, that's the best. Let's see, she's saying. Say that's the best that I have seen Hannah play. She played with heart, and that's all they take playing with heart. You'll get a lot out of yourself, and you will play well, and you will shift the ball around for the very betterment of the team, and that's what you want. That's what you want. Let's see. Henry said Washington is a solid team. Avery Howard is a great rebounder at two of three position at the 2-3 position. Seller is still going to put up ball. She's still going to put up the ball in the hoop. She's going to put the ball in the hoop for sure. I don't see Sellers doing anything different. The only way I see Sellers doing something different is if Seller goes down for the season. Even if Seller has to sit out like maybe a game or something because ankle tweak, she's like an angel, right? She will wrap that shit up and she would keep going. So yes, absolutely, you're right, Henry. Vanderbilt need more scoring, but they're a solid team. Yes, yes, they they have shooters. I just think some players get in their heads that they feel like they have to pass the ball or they don't take that first glance. That first glance is right there. And before you know it, they done pass it up because they're trying to execute the play because they just simply didn't see themselves wide open until after they've passed the ball. And now you see them trying to get shifty and get to the rim and try to, they'll hedge down and come back up for that pass and see if they can get the ball back. But the rankings truly aren't that far off based on the week before. I mean, you have again 7 through 25. Where you had a few teams that shift back and forth that went from um, like Ohio State was, I think Ohio State was 20, and now they're 21, or they were 19, now they're 21. So change is a coming. Uh, Big Girl says, what do you think about the ADR not playing? I don't think I have a view on that. I'm wondering if, and that's why I think I don't have a view on it yet, because I'm wondering if she's waiting until she get into conference play season, right? Um, I don't know, unless she just stays out the entire time. then I'm gonna say I'm definitely gonna have some choice words. I'm definitely gonna have some choice words. And then again, that's also gonna have to do with that coach too. I said, look at some of these stats. Some of the stats have changed a bit, but they've only played 2 to 3 games since last week. Some teams only played what? Like TCU. So that's why TCU is where they are, because they've played one game and then they've had like a mini break. I think if I didn't see them play last night. They played today. They didn't play last night, and I didn't see them because I was actually looking while I was on live, so I can pull up her stuff, so I can get her information on the panel for you guys. But I didn't see them play last night, so they definitely have to be playing today for sure. Okay, Bigger says Samaya will be back. Do you think she will make a difference for Washington? I mean, for West Virginia? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think that she's going to make a difference. I've had one, two, three players, three, three players play for West Virginia. One of them, she's a coach at a smaller Division II school. Her name is Sarah Miles. Sarah Miles was a shoe-in for the W, but Sarah Miles playing against Baylor last game of her season of her college career, she tears her ACL. And once that happened, if you're not in the first round, if you're not a first rounder, typically if you get injured like that, and she's a point guard, she was a point guard, she was pretty shifty, but remember, point guards come a dime a dozen. So when you injure yourself in college like that, especially right before you have to go to the W camp, they'll just wave you off. They won't even have you come. And that's kind of what happened to her. Although she went overseas, she played a little while, she got herself back together. She went overseas and played a little while, and in hopes that she would get pulled from one of the overseas teams back here and playing in a W. It just didn't pan out. So that's why she's a coach now. And she's doing a phenomenal job as a coach. Okay, Henry, let's see. Do you think Maryland will finally make some noise? So many letdowns in the past with talent. They have Jared Garzon. Yeah, I like Garzon. I do. I like her. Was a great pickup from Indiana. She was, and she hasn't played her best basketball. And you're correct. I'm waiting to see her go off. And sometimes it just takes them to get in conference play and battle it out. I think that they'll be a pretty contending team. They're moving up. Now, will they take and be better than? Will they be better than 7? It just depends on TCU, Oklahoma, and Iowa, right? Because those teams are also playing extremely well. They're playing extremely well. So in conference play, anything goes. So we'll see how they fare out in that. Sorry, it is Virginia. San Mai plays for. Oh, okay. Veronica. I'm sorry, Virginia. How do you say her name? I'm sorry, big girl. I can say that last name though. Samaya, I can say that. Okay. Well, we shall see how she plays. We will see how she play. We'll see how she fare. But yeah, for a minute that looked like that was like West Virginia. Um, I know people hear me say, "Oh yeah, I had to play over there." I coached some of the top players in the South Texas region, and then we kind of went a little bit global. We had some players that played that came. One young lady, she played for Dallas Wings for 2 seasons, but she was hurt. And it was one of the plays that Angel Reese accidentally kind of kind of kicked her, and she kind of pummeled over. She's 6'6". She was another big that Dallas Wings had, but she was hurt. She was injured, and she proceeded to play injured. But sometimes remember, uh, players that play injured sometimes aren't playing injured at free will. Do know that. And so no, she was not back in the W this past season, but she's from Africa. Her family, um, yeah, they're down there in Africa. They do some great work in Africa. But that young lady, she went from not really knowing how to play basketball to playing basketball. She has a great Angel Wilson story. It's just that she wasn't able to finish it out. She's 6'6". 6'6". 6'6". So hopefully she gets healthy, um, and she can come back. She'll make her way back into the league. At 6'6", I don't see that being a problem if she can ball out of control. First name Stephanie. I can't remember what Stephanie. Stephanie got one of them weird last names. Her mother and her father played for UT, so they're a basketball family. Her brother went on and played college ball. She played college ball, and then she went into the W. So, and her mom and dad were very big players, very big ballers at UT. So, well, with that, guys, that's all I have for that top 25, that AP top 25. Unless you guys have something else, another player you want to check on. Do I think Kelly Harper can put Mrs. Missouri back on the map? Uh, Given the other team stepping up, because I still see Michigan State staying in that top 25. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. That bottom half, which is that 25, that 20 through 25, that mixture of just those 5 slots is gonna be mad crazy changes. And also will 10 through 10 through 20 through 19 will have changes as well. But I don't see where um, Missouri, again, she's in the SEC, so not sure. It's a possibility, but that would mean that some of these teams, i.e., Tennessee, who keeps dropping, um, don't fare well. Oklahoma don't fare well, and Louisville don't. Louisville. If Louisville can't fare well, they're gonna keep dropping and dropping, coming on up here to the bench, in the bench corner, because that's typically if you're not in the top 25, you kind of what you call the bench players. All right, all right. So, um, that's all I have. That's all I have. That's all I have. You have anything else, big girl? What about you, Henry? You have anything else? Any more questions? Questions? I can almost kind of give you some of the breakdown where some of the teams shift in that slot. So I mean, from that 1 week before, Iowa went from 11 to 12, which I did tell you they went from 11 to 12. North Carolina, they just kind of switched roles. They went from 11 to 12 as well. Let's see, Baylor went from 14 to 13. That's why I said I've seen them play a little bit better than the first game of the season. Now I just haven't flat out seen them just really, really play, really get in the groove because those first 2 or 3 games, everybody's trying to get their feet wet, find the chemistry, and know who works well on the floor together. Vanderbilt jumped up one from 14, so they're 15. Kentucky moved down from 17, from 15 to 17. So just Mississippi, we talked about that. Mississippi went from doggone 13 to 17. That's why to be able to answer if they can make their way back into that top 25 is going to be tough because so many other teams are gelling and playing well. So it's going to be tough. Let's see. You said, when did Keisha say we're going to the game? I don't know. You got to check it. Oh, yes, she did. Let me look at my phone. Let me look at my phone. Let me look at the calendar. I'm gonna tell you right now, big girl. Let's see. Calendar, January. She mentioned a game on I think it was either the 10th or the 11th, and then another different game that was on the 17th. And so I told her I could do either one, but I probably would prefer taking the one that's on the 17th just in case they have something for me. These sometimes military can be kind of weird sometimes. But yeah, so I think I did say around the 17th, but I did tell her either one. If we can't get the 17th and we could get the 10th or the 11th, we'll take that. So I'm ready. You ready? I'm ready. You ready? Yeah, boy. I'm checking my notes here. Big girl, make sure I got everything. Did I cover everything? If I missed something, go ahead and let me know. I believe I covered everything. Yep. We ready. We ready. We ready like Freddy. Can't get no readier than that. Can't get no readier than that. Now that is it. But before I go, and I know there's not very many on here because I'm at the crack of earliness, and I've never been on the crack of earliness. So I got to build myself up to that, or my audience rather, up to that. But I'm going to put up here, let me take this down. Want you guys to see my new what my new I have a particular panel I'm gonna do just like the Keisha Broclaw. I have the Players Club, and then they have Full Court Trio along with KSAP. I'm gonna have my own show on my channel. Let me get to it so I can let y'all see what it looks like. Come on, come on, come on. But big girl, I'm gonna be ready like Freddy. Can't wait to see. Good morning, good morning, King Lion Crown. I appreciate you coming in. Let's see, where is it? Ha ha ha. I just had it posted earlier on Bro Clark's channel. He accidentally showed it, and it wasn't for him to show. Here it is. It's for me to show. Yeah. So this here, come on, pop up, pop up, pop up. There it goes, slow moving. This will be my show, big girl. This is my show. Tony's Court Vision. Let's talk facts. What you think about that? I think that I'm ready to rock with that. Ready to rock with that show. That show is all about this right here. The love of this game. Break it down. Give more points of view other than just how well one player is playing. I want to see the whole game. I like to talk about the court. I like to see how and talk about how players are maneuvering. Are they maneuvering well? What is their agile feel? So yeah, absolutely. But again, I appreciate you coming in, King Lion. I really do. Thank you for showing up. USC versus UConn is going to be oh, it's definitely going to be good. It's definitely going to be good. I cannot wait to see that. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be mad crazy. Mad crazy. What you say, Big Girl says, maybe I can join you sometimes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Come on and join me. I love basketball minds. I love basketball uh critiques. Those are the best. Those are the best. I'm not a screamer and a yeller. I just like to talk facts and be comfortable. You have any more questions, King? I was getting ready to jump off, but I have about 4 more minutes. I can give you four more minutes. I'm gonna drop off right at an hour and get my next show ready. Get my next show ready because it's gonna be on my new show, Tony's Courtside Vision. uh oh, I have to do that voice. Oh man, no man, no man. Bro, Claude does enough for all of us. Him and Duval. They do a lot of that. But I'm saying, you know, say yay. Let's get after it. I like it. I like it. I like it. And then also on the panel, it's gonna be days where I just come on and I just talk to the chat. We gonna pick a topic and we just gonna talk and we gonna flow. Some get some up on the panel and talk to those in the chat. I want to start connecting more with you all. So sometimes I'll be in la la land. And if I'm not the one talking, if I ain't the host talking, that girl be like this sometimes. Are we calling LSU today? Probably so. And we're gonna have to call it because I think playback is out. I think they cut playback. They said sorry to regret to inform you. I think they shut playback down, but I'll find out. Maybe they have something else that they're gonna be running it on. But I don't see why Keisha won't pull it up. If she don't, I'll pull up the stats and I'll just call it from here. I'll call it from Tony's court vision, and we can just do it there. Yeah, we could just do it there. Before KSAP get on me, I gotta start getting on my boogie. He said I gotta get on my boogie, get on my grind. So, and before the boss man come after me, I better start working. Let's see. Let's see. All right. 2 more minutes. Well, a minute and a half. If anybody got anything, uh, drop in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this take, about my take, and we can go from there. Everybody always have room for improvement, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing. And I'm all up for it. I'm up for whatever you got on your ticket. Whatever you got on your ticket, I can punch it. Thank you, big girl. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I got to start letting you all hear my voice more, other than just when it comes time for everyone to get the professional uh, status quo. Now, some games for LSU, you might hear me kind of get a little wild, little rowdy because I just love my Tigers. And I'll probably do the same thing for them Longhorns, man. And I got to, like I said, cheer on my girl Olivia Miles because I don't want the last thing I want is for her to get caught up in the sauce and not being relevant. I mean, she's always going to be relevant because she is who she is and she plays as well as she plays. And I mean, she's just a a show getter, right? She's a finesser. She'll always draw you in. But I don't want people shunning her light because of where she's playing now. Well, that be my time, y'all. That be my time. So I'm gonna wrap this up. We got the top new AP, and we're gonna talk about the AP every week because I want to see how these teams are shifting. And it's never enough. Some people say, "Oh, you don't look at it, it's too much." No, it's never enough. You always want to know where the players are ranked individually and as a team as a whole. It's important to know that, especially if you follow the sport extremely well, to see where your teams are faring against other divisions. With us being in the SEC, big girl, I definitely got to go take a look at the Pac-10 and I mean the Big Ten and the Pac-12 for sure. And I know a lot of teams was moving out of the Pac-12, so we're gonna see what they got. But trust me, this season is just getting started for some of these players. Like I said, especially the rookies, especially some that are very extremely great on offense. We want to see how they fare, these rookies defensively. That's going to be the key to keep them on the court. So the rankings are the rankings, guys. And we're going to wrap that up. And if you rocked well with me today, keep it coming. Come back, rock with me some more. Stay steady and be ready so you don't have to get ready later on. This is the episode, and I'm going to call it the episode since I'm going to bring it back every week and we're going to talk about it every week. This is my first episode of the rankings of the AP rankings, and we will continue to bring the episodes to you left and right until the season has died down into the playoffs. The playoffs, you'll get to see it live and in person based on the brackets. So until next time, keep watching and keep supporting. And remember, the future of basketball is always here. It's always going to be around. Future of basketball is steady, and I'm always going to be a part of it, whether I coach or not. And with that, guys, I am going to take us out of here.